Well, our guest for this segment is Rachel Mouton, who is Director of Development at the Little Lighthouse. Rachel, it's good to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I think so much of your organization. It is such a blessing to have you guys up and running here.
Yes.
And you've been here since how long?
1972. So we opened the doors to the first Little Lighthouse in 1972. It was a one room, one teacher, 5 children with special needs, 5 dedicated volunteers. And we have grown. We've grown quite large. We expanded our facility in August and moved in. We have 8 classrooms now that serve up to 12 children.
Well, let me ask you this, and we have some video to share with you folks at home.
Sure.
If you could kind of narrate what we're seeing. How many children do you have on site now?
So now we have 96 children. We're working on renovating our old facility. After that is complete, we will be able to serve up to 140 kiddos. So this video was shot about 2 years ago by Retrospect Films out of Broken Arrow. They donated their time and talents to make this wonderful video. And so it's made in our old facility. And as you just saw from that last shot, lots of equipment in the hallway. Fortunately, the new building is a lot more open and the equipment's not in the hallway. But the children that we serve, as you can see, they have special needs, variety of disabilities.
Well, let me just inject one thing here too. Full disclosure for the folks at home that might have some concerns. All of the children that you see have been cleared by their parents.
Yes.
And by the school to be seen on television. We didn't just run out and grab video. So this is all above board. I don't want anybody at home to get all tense and upset with us on that.
Sure, that is correct.
How many children come back every year, or do they stay in year-round?
So it's a year-round school.
Okay.
We serve them birth to 6 years old. Sadly, we do have a waiting list right now. Unfortunately, our waiting list actually grew after the expansion. I think, being larger and
sure.
People becoming more aware of us. Our waiting list, the last time I heard, we were at 212 children on the waiting list. So our focus is early education. So we focus to birth to 6 because those are your most influential years of learning. And then we work with the families very closely to transition them to their next school, whether it's public school, private school. There's a couple private schools that do have special needs classrooms, or even homeschool. So we do have kids that stay with us for maybe 4 years at a time. But then we have a couple kiddos that sadly, because of our waiting list, get a year, and then we have to transition them.
It just, if you'll permit me an observation here, it seems to me, based on what you see in the video, but as well as I recall seeing the volunteers, and there weren't that many in the early days, but it's pretty clear to me that it takes a special kind of person to work with these children. And I gotta tell you, they're not easy to come by.
Well, our teachers and our therapists who work in the classroom and the associates and our nurse, they are passionate about these children. They are completely devoted. One of the mindsets we try to shift when people come to the Little Lighthouse is we want them to look at our children and see their ability and not their disability. So to see their potential, a lot of times these families have been told by very well-meaning professionals that their kid might not walk, they might not eat, they may not communicate. And through the power of prayer, because we are Christian, and just working with them and giving, that positive feeding into them, we have seen so many children who weren't thought to walk. That little girl who just popped up out of that container, she is walking, and she was told she wasn't going to get to walk. And so we've seen them walk, we've seen them communicate. Sometimes, might not by words like how you and I are communicating, but with assistive technology. So it might be an iPad where they use a communication app and they can touch the word they're wanting to say.
Mm-hmm. Does it also involve working with the parents?
Yes, very much so. We use what's called a transdisciplinary team approach at the Little Lighthouse, and that's what really makes us unique from other centers that serve children with special needs.
Break that down for me. What does it mean exactly?
So transdisciplinary team means that our certified special education teachers, our physical therapist, occupational therapist, speech pathologist, we have a low vision therapist, assistive technology professional, a nurse. So we have all of those professions working in the classroom side by side to help each child reach their individual goals. So typically, maybe at another school, they would take the child out of the classroom every time they wanted to do physical therapy. And then they would take them out of the classroom for occupational therapy. We do that all in the classroom. And so it's a hands-on team approach that we have found to be very effective with helping our kids.
Most welcome, I would venture.
Yes.
If then you're in the new facility.
Correct.
And if that is the case, one would think, well, they'll just get rid of the old one. Is that going to happen?
No, we are not. It is adjacent to our new facility, so they're connected. There's a walkway between the two, or it's pretty much just a doorway, and you're in the old facility,
Sure,
you're in the new facility. We are working to raise the final $2.5 million to renovate our old facility. Since August, we've already raised $1 million of the funds needed to renovate.
That's great.
And once we have the funds in hand, we will move forward with that construction project and be able to open up more classrooms, a second gym, and other, really much needed space for the kids.
I would venture, as I look at your facility and I look at what you've done and the growth that you have sustained, and you have done that there are plans for even more growth down the road. I mean, it would almost have to be with a waiting list of over 200.
Right. We are looking at expanding our programs. One of our biggest, and I would say relatively new program, is our Global Classroom program. We have been working internationally for years with folks around the globe who have contacted us. They maybe have come and done an internship with the Little Lighthouse, or we've sent staff out to different countries, all with designated funds, so not taking funds from the kids that we serve. We're expanding on that because of technological advances now. We're able to Skype with people around the globe. We have a resource website called The Little Anchor, and anybody, locally, internationally, they can go to The Little Anchor and they can find articles written by our professionals. They can find stories, blog posts, different videos, and then we have our curriculum available for free also on the Little Anchor. And so people who work with children with special needs, they can access this resource anywhere they are to learn techniques.
Is it a franchise operation? In other words, are there little lighthouses in other parts of the country?
No, we are not a franchise. We do have an affiliate in Mississippi who their 10-year anniversary was last year. We do get calls, people wanting to replicate the Little Lighthouse. As far as taking on our name and using our logo and actually doing that, we only have the one, but we have, with the interns who have come in and gone back maybe to Honduras or to Estonia, they implement a lot of what they learn at the Little Lighthouse in their programs.
We got about a minute and a half.
Sure, I can talk all day on the Little Lighthouse, sorry.
Do you need more volunteers?
We can always use volunteers. I mean, we try to keep a 1-to-1 ratio with the kiddos in the classroom. And then we need, with the bigger facility, we could always use help with facility needs, cleaning, any kind of, small repairs. And then, of course, in our administrative offices, we do fundraising events.
Let's say someone's sitting out there and they're wanting to be involved. What do?
You can give us a call, or you can go to our website, www.littlelighthouse.org, and there's a link on that website to go to volunteer. There's just a whole assortment of information. You can access our newsletter, you can access our donation page, you can find out what events are coming up.
And for those on the waiting list and those who might soon be, I would say, don't lose heart.
Do not lose heart. We do have a program for our waiting list families, so monthly we meet with them to help give them resources and tools to help prepare them.
Holy Toledo. Well, again, thank you
Thank you for having
coming
me.
today, and thank you
Appreciate
for
it.
what you guys are doing. I mean,
Oh, thank you.
as I said earlier, there's a special place in heaven for people like you.
Oh, these
For your
kids
whole
are
operation.
amazing.
Oh, they are fantastic. All right, still to come. This is not going to be easy, but grief is something we all experience. Still, some of us need a little bit of help working our way through it. We'll have more on that when we come back.